Cell towers are not exciting. They are not flashy. They do not feel like artificial intelligence, crypto, or the next hot growth stock. But every phone signal, every 5G connection, every map, every app, and every video stream needs infrastructure behind it. That is where Crown Castle, ticker CCI, becomes interesting. Crown Castle owns and leases cell tower infrastructure across the United States, and after selling its fiber and small cell businesses, the company is becoming a much more focused U.S. tower REIT. So the question for investors is simple. Is Crown Castle worth investing in now? Or is this still a turnaround story with too many risks? Because cell towers are boring infrastructure, but boring infrastructure still has to produce cash flow. Crown Castle is a communication infrastructure REIT. But after the sale of fiber and small cell, the story is now much simpler. Crown Castle is more focused on U.S. cell towers. The company owns, operates, and leases approximately 40,000 cell towers across the United States. For beginners, the key point is this. Crown Castle is not a wireless carrier. It does not sell phone plans. It does not compete directly with the companies that send you a monthly phone bill. Instead, it rents infrastructure to wireless customers that need space on towers to support their networks. So when people use phones, stream video, use maps, or connect to mobile data, there is often physical infrastructure behind that signal. CCI does not sell phone plans. It rents the infrastructure behind the signal. And to understand why this business just changed, we need to look at the big reset. The biggest change at Crown Castle is the sale of its fiber solutions and small cell businesses. In 2026, Crown Castle completed the sale for $8.5 billion. The company expects to use part of the proceeds to repurchase $1 billion of shares. And it also expects to reduce outstanding debt by more than $7 billion. That is a major strategic shift. The company's becoming simpler, more focused, less operationally complex, and more clearly tied to the U.S. tower business. For investors, that can be attractive. A simpler company can be easier to analyze. Debt reduction can help the balance sheet, and management can focus more directly on improving tower operations. But here's the catch. Selling assets can improve the story. It does not automatically improve the results. The company got simpler. Now the tower business has to prove itself, and that starts with how Crown Castle actually makes money. Crown Castle makes money by owning towers and leasing space on those towers. Wireless carriers and other customers use that space to place equipment that supports mobile networks. The business model is built around site rental revenues, site rental billings, core leasing activity, escalators, non-renewals, and AFFO. In simple terms, the tower is the asset. The lease is the engine. A tower becomes more valuable when it can support multiple tenants and equipment over time. Lease escalators can help revenues grow. Additional equipment can increase monetization. And long-term contracts can create recurring revenue. But investors need to watch both sides of the model. New leasing activity helps. Escalators help. But cancellations, non-renewals, and cell towers still matter because wireless demand keeps growing. People use more mobile data. They stream more video. They rely on apps. They use maps. They connect devices. And 5G networks still need physical infrastructure. The idea sounds simple. More mobile data should mean more demand for wireless infrastructure. But investors need to be careful. More mobile data does not automatically mean shareholders win. The demand has to show up in contracts, it has to show up in leasing activity, it has to show up in pricing, and eventually it has to show up in AFFO. That is why we do not analyze Crown Castle only by saying everyone uses phones. That is true, but it is not enough. More mobile data creates demand. Contracts turn demand into cash flow. So now we need to look at whether the recent numbers are actually improving. Crown Castle's first quarter of 2026 was not a perfect growth story. Site rental revenues were $961 million, down 5% from the prior year. Adjusted EBITDA was $675 million, down 7%, and AFFO was $446 million, also down 7%. So the numbers are mixed. The company is getting simpler, the strategy is getting cleaner, but the financial results still show pressure. That matters because investors should not confuse a cleaner story with cleaner growth. A stock can have a better narrative before the numbers fully confirm it. And that may be exactly where Crown Castle is right now. A cleaner story is good, but investors still need cleaner growth. That is why the full-year guidance matters. After closing the sale of fiber and small cell, Crown Castle updated its full-year 2026 outlook. The company expects site rental revenues between $3.828 billion and $3.873 billion. Adjusted EBITDA between $2.665 billion and $2.715 billion. AFFO between $1.945 billion and $1.995 billion, and AFFO per share between $4.53 and $4.65. Those numbers help investors frame the year. They also reflect the impact of lower interest expense after debt reduction. But guidance is not a guarantee. It is a map, and maps can change. Execution can disappoint. Tenant activity can change, interest rates can shift, and valuation can still be too high. So the guidance is useful, but it does not remove risk. The first major risk is tenant cancellations. Cell towers may feel essential, but tower leases still depend on customers. And Crown Castle has faced pressure from DISH terminations, Sprint cancellations, and non-renewals. For 2026, the expected impact from DISH terminations and Sprint cancellations was $240 million. That includes $220 million from DISH and $20 million from Sprint. This matters because investors sometimes assume tower revenues are almost automatic, but tenants still make decisions. They can consolidate networks, they can cancel, they can choose not to renew, they can reduce certain leasing needs. So even essential infrastructure can face contract pressure. The signal may be essential, but tenants still decide what they lease. And when contract pressure hits revenue, the balance sheet becomes even more important. For REITs, the balance sheet always matters. Crown Castle expects to reduce debt by more than $7 billion using proceeds from the fiber and small cell sale. That is important because towers can be high-quality infrastructure, but REITs still depend on capital. Interest rates matter, refinancing matters, debt levels matter, dividend safety matters, and capital allocation matters. Crown Castle also paid a quarterly dividend of $1.0625 per share in the first quarter of 2026, which was down 32% per share from the same period a year earlier. That dividend reset is important. It reminds investors that infrastructure income is not automatically guaranteed income. A high-quality tower portfolio still needs a healthy balance sheet. And after understanding debt, interest rates, and dividends, it helps to compare CCI with the other major tower name investors often search for, American Tower. When investors look at Crown Castle, they often compare it with American Tower, ticker AMT. The comparison is useful because both are tower REITs, but the stories are different. CCI is now the focused U.S. tower story. It is simpler after the fiber and small cell sale. It is concentrated in the United States, and it may appeal to investors who want a more direct, pure-play tower REIT. AMT is the broader global infrastructure story. It has international tower exposure, it has more geographic diversification, and it also has a data center layer through CoreSite. That means AMT may be more diversified, but also more complex. CCI may be simpler, but also more concentrated. So simplicity is not automatically better, and diversification is not automatically better. This is the kind of no-hype REIT analysis we focus on at Boring Money Wins. Not buying Crown Castle just because cell towers are essential. Not ignoring tenant cancellations. Not ignoring debt, not ignoring dividend changes. And not pretending that every infrastructure stock is automatically safe. If this kind of investing breakdown is useful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow and it tells YouTube to show more practical investing content to people who want clear analysis instead of hype. Now that we understand the business, the reset, the recent numbers, and the key risks, let's make this practical. Who may actually like Crown Castle may appeal to investors who want focused exposure to U.S. cell towers. It may also appeal to investors who believe wireless infrastructure will remain important over the long term. If someone wants a simpler tower REIT story, CCI is now easier to understand than it was before the sale. It may also interest investors who are comfortable analyzing AFFO, debt reduction, dividend policy, and turnaround risk. But that last phrase matters: turnaround risk. Crown Castle is not just a clean growth story right now. It is a cleaner company trying to prove that the tower business can produce better results over time. That may be attractive to some investors, but it requires patience and discipline. CCI may fit investors who want a focused U.S. tower REIT, not a flashy AI story. But it is not the right fit for everyone. So let's look at who should be more careful. Some investors should be careful with Crown Castle. If someone wants fast growth, CCI may not be the best match. If someone wants risk-free dividends, this is not that. If someone ignores tenant cancellations, they may miss an important part of the story. If someone ignores debt and interest rates, they may misunderstand how REITs work. And if someone buys only because the stock has fallen, that is not analysis. That is hope. The biggest mistake is assuming that essential infrastructure automatically means a safe stock. It does not. A tower can be essential. The business can be important, but the stock can still disappoint if growth is weak, debt is high, the dividend is pressured, or investors overpay. Essential infrastructure is not the same as risk-free income. And that brings us to the final question before the verdict: valuation. Price still matters. Crown Castle may be simpler now. It may be more focused, it may benefit from wireless demand, and the debt reduction may improve the financial profile. But investors still need valuation discipline. A good story can become a bad investment if the price is too high. For CCI, investors should look at price to AFFO, AFFO per share guidance, dividend yield, debt reduction, organic growth, cancellation impact, and the comparison with AMT. The turnaround can be real and still be a bad investment if investors overpay. That is especially important with REITs, because interest rates and income expectations can heavily affect valuation. So the question is not only whether Crown Castle is better than before, the question is whether the future. So is Crown Castle worth investing in now? The balanced answer is that it may be worth studying, but it is not an automatic buy. Crown Castle is now simpler and more focused after selling fiber and small cell. The company expects to reduce debt meaningfully. It owns a large U.S. tower portfolio, and cell towers remain important for wireless connectivity, 5G, mobile data, apps, and video streaming. But investors should not ignore the hard parts. Recent numbers are still mixed. Tenant cancellations are real. The dividend was reset. Debt and interest rates still matter. And valuation still matters. Crown Castle may become a cleaner U.S. tower REIT story, but the cash flow has to prove it. The best infrastructure investment is not the cleanest story. It is the one where cash flow survives. That is the boring answer. And boring money usually wins because boring money usually survives.